Alright. Welcome back. Another day working on CPU. Yesterday we finished, or did a good chunk of the block logic. Mm-hmm. And so, what do we want to do next? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what are we working on next? I don't really know what to do yet. We have these different ones, and we have this hacking state, which I kind of did the combo stuff for the basic one, so I'll just grab the logic here, I think. Right? Okay, stay, and then this is to end it. This is to check if we can get to attack. And this is a start attack check, so I probably want a lot of this code. Time doesn't exist. So if attacking is false, hmm. I need logic to choose the combo first. I'll also comment this out because I don't know if I want to use it as is or if I have something else. Okay. I actually want to check the regular guy first. If there's a start attack check, has hit and combo attacks, next attack, start the next attack. The other thing that might be interesting is to allow for custom delays in the combo. So combo attacks could have a value of a delay. Probably not right now because that's a little harder. I don't need to do it right now, especially since I want just the boss. Okay, so to choose our combo attack, first we're just gonna roll for combo. Maybe. Don't know. What was my reasoning for closeness? Or what was this thing's reasoning? What is the best way to deal with range? What does it suggest for it? I think these can be fine together. I don't think this hacking state matters because of things. I should just work on the thing as is. What's your code for this? Just a better way to do it. Also gets rid of the need for a far range. Okay. Choose combo I should probably take in what the state is. So current state, yes. And then that will allow us to pick the combo. When do I want to start the attack? That's a great question. Also, where's my attack chance? I don't have an attack chance. I have a poke chance. I should probably just use that. So we take in the current state, which is either close, mid, far, or block. On block, I would want to check the advantage, which would mean size, active frame, probably a correction term. Skip. Active frames, frame that size. That tells me, and the difference between them is the advantage. No, that would just tell me the difference between. That just tells me how many frames are left. The last thing I need is. I need the information of the stun amount. So target. Not get. Hitbox dot data dot stun duration. It's stun duration. I also need one for block duration. Probably just block stun duration. And then basically these three will give me the amount. However, current attack requires is safe to read. So the first thing could be is if target attack manager dot is attack safe to read, indent everything. Colon, and then I can take in that data. This checks is attacking. That's safe to read, but doesn't verify if it has a hitbox. If this colon, then I can. And this is indenting, so If it's safe to read equals false, return. Okay, this is now safe. If this equals null, also can return. Okay. But this checks is a tag safe to read, so don't. Wait, don't I have like a stun remaining thing? Let's see, stun manager. Remaining duration. Okay. That's another value I can use to calculate. And from that, this means, first off, let's just rename this to calculate advantage. I just want to fix the spelling. What would be the best way to actually do a calculate advantage? Where would a calculate advantage best be placed? But stun duration is in stun manager, especially for okay, get remaining frames probably makes sense. For meaty attacks. Meaty attacks cause some concern. I'll say, what does entity base actually take? Enemy base, entity base, stun manager. It does not take an attack manager, which might be a mistake. Enemy base does take an attack manager. everything has we can do their attack manager. Speed 1 as well. Alright, anything else not having attack manager set? Cool. This doesn't do the check, but just kind of, we don't know. Scale component makes sense to be on entity base. Yeah, actually probably as well. No, it's declared. I guess it's defined twice then? Which you didn't need to. Entity base. Can you make me ready question with any error checks using the helper hooks? Yeah, I don't like rewriting this thing. Oh, sorry. I meant for entity base with books. I make this right now. Also moved a few others in here, so add those. Yep. Wonderful. Sorry? Oh no, it's not get context anymore. And also I changed the name. This is the correct line now, as I made some edits. Thank you. Okay, those null checks are now around and will help me identify if I'm missing anything. Anything? Hurtable player? Right. Hurtable player doesn't have them. Hurtable player doesn't need them, which is maybe why I didn't have them there. Um, I don't know what to do about that then. Okay, back to the boss. Now that that's errors check is done. Attack manager, stun manager. There's a ton of things to consider for it. Yeah, remaining frames. Stun manager makes sense to be the main thing, and if stun returns stun manager. If attacking, attack manager is safe to read, get remaining frames. Is that a little bit much? Oh, it does also check this. I feel like I'm making too many functions for some of this, but then again, boss logic is complicated. So in the stun manager? No, in the attack manager, I get remaining frames. Mm, Let me count and get this. Frame mode, attack. I'm not printing it. So, okay, let me check how much all of these things are. Let's put this on top. Their agent. The attack I used was left light punch. Scene. It has 16 frames. Frame 1 has started. 15 should remain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Remain 0. That's the fact that it returns null is bad. Or maybe bad. So I'll just say return 0. Let's see, that returns 0 now. And it only is when attacking, so should be fine. 16, which is also the last one. 17, I'm sorry? It returned 17? Hold up, 6 names. That's not okay. Did it start from 0? One to 17. Hold on, that doesn't make sense. This is frame 1, 2, 3, 4, no attack, 5 comes out. 6, 7, 8. Stopped attacking. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then you flash for 1 frame on 17. Uh-oh. Something is a little off. Oh, I see part of it. Because I update right away. That's why is it 16? 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 16. It shouldn't be too high. It matches with my numbers below, but the Ending on 17 doesn't make sense. This counts from 0, this counts the full number, add 1 here. Okay. There we go. That's correct now. Remaining is correct. Then we want to go to the fund manager, which again, both of these have. And then we want to calculate or just get the remaining duration, which is just a numerical value. That's still interesting. Also, what are all these errors? Terminations. Wait, why does this not have... Combo text defined but not assigned for left button like punch on what specific thing? Of course it doesn't specify, because I didn't specify. It's probably the boss, but I should change this to... label is null. So, back. Quotation marks. A combo attack is defined, but the dictionary is null. exactly what it is. Combo attack is defined, but the dictionary is null. And other thing, okay. Oh, okay. I want to go to the stun manager. Wait, but I just get remaining duration, so like, yeah. And then since it's entity base, it's just like, do that. Small thing, entity base. If stun manager is stunned, if attack manager is safe to read, get remaining frames, both are defined. So that's neat and all. However, okay, so let's just think what happens in the case of a knockdown. I hit my opponent. They fly into the air. They have a specific duration. When they touch the ground, they enter the knockdown state. They would be checking duration possibly throughout all of it. They would assume something, but they would be unable to do it because they're still stunned. So that's fine. In the case that they were to recover in the air, they would be allowed to do something. However, they would be in an air state, so the check might be different. Um, Putting them in the air can be a problem, especially if it's not like a Street Fighter style stun, where if they're put into the air, they stay stunned until they hit the ground, which a lot of anime style games don't do. Brawlhalla doesn't do it, nor does Smash. The only game that I do know is Street Fighter that does it, and maybe Guilty Gear? Yeah, so there is an anime game that does it. I couldn't tell you if the Avatar or Tokon game allows it, or the tag game. I just don't personally like the air recovery a little bit, possibly. I think it makes it so you just drop your combos in a significantly more evil, more problematic way. But like, that's as easily changeable as going to the Sun Manager and just changing the value of the default air stun type on the start. And same with like launch. I don't want it to be a per character thing, so it would have to be a global setting. If it's static, wait, okay. Question: if I make a static parameter in Sun Manager called must recover on ground, will all Sun managers be affected if I change one of them? Also, can it be an export or not? Mm-hmm. I would like it to be global. So I think I'll just grab this. Go. No. Mm, yeah. For global settings like that, because that's the thing I want to actually consider. For global settings like that, is that the best way, or is keeping it in things like Sun Manager a bad idea? Okay. this will make the project probably one of the better projects for anyone who wants to make their own fighting game. Because then you can define, okay, I want my game to be a lot like Bounty Blood, so I want these specific things in it. Um, which is definitely a choice, so I'll make it. Create new script, game settings. That is with an S, right? Thank you. It's not exactly an auto load, is it? And also, it may not make sense to be an auto load. What should it extend? Other things that I would actually hit. Okay, so gravity scale, I don't actually know. Hit stop, maybe. Chip damage, rapid beat, the stun, fast recover on ground. Yeah, that's at export. What else is another thing? So I think yes, a resource may make sense. And if I want to make presets, wait, how does the resource with an auto load work? In editor. Can a class name reference make more sense? be done for a resource. What else is a setting that I would consider important to me? Rapid beat style stuff, special cancelable special moves. Not cardboard. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Okay, and then for documentation. Um, Makes all stuns that launch into air always force a type of knock down. A little bit. Okay, yeah. Now this is pretty normal. That didn't reduce it by anything at all. Okay. Um, really long variable name, but I think special. Um, yeah, special name. No, I'll leave it like that. That's fine by me. Okay. Back to CPU. I need to focus on this damn thing. Stop making new scripts. Well, it's neat, but like, no. Don't work on it. Okay. Mouse. Okay. We made something that returns the advantage of things. Um, so target attack manager. Or no. Current target get frames remaining and self dot get frames remaining. I really want to talk about the edge case. Alright, so self minus current targets. This would be a variable var advantage equals. Should be an int. Also, this should probably be after. Get frames remaining. It does do the check. Right, so var advantage, and if advantage greater than 0, sorry, greater than, okay, less than 0 means you can win at easily else. less than or equal to 0, I think is fine. This would be greater than or equal to 0, or greater than 0. I think that was it. No. Because I don't know what to do yet. With that, okay. For my CPU boss, I'm probably going to need to have conditions for each type of attack when doing a punish. Punishes are those 6 Okay. Alright, what states am I going to have to consider? First off, there's neutral, there's when you're in block stun for punishes, if you can punish. So, let me just make, let's say, wait, let's do some, what the, why? That's fine. Okay, so this, that's a thing I want to deal with later. But first now, okay, stop. So then go here, down, down, down. Okay, so let's do things that are common in fighting games, just understanding like what they are called. So var is your turn, colon, bool, equals false. Okay. Okay, calculate advantage is calculate whose turn. check whose turn. Okay. So that means you can like maybe poke or something, or do a frame trap. So that's helpful for block punish. Why are all these tiny functions? What are these called? Put them in the same spot. I just did it more for a second. Since it's probably unused. That spot, yeah. I don't like inline functions. They're really not worth my time. Okay, that reduces the functions, manage states. Let me see. Block logic is an unknown. Check whose turn. Okay, we know whose turn it is now. Does this work or get checked on? Okay, check whose turn is probably very strong. So switch frames. Okay, so we know whose advantage it is, and that means we know if we can punish, if they whiff the attack, um, if they block, if they hit me with block, if they're blocking, if the opponent is blocking. Self-block check might make sense for self-block check. Here, yep. If it's your opponent's turn, maybe keep it on blocking. But wait, no, I check every frame. So I don't think I need that. Blocking is handled and probably should be dealing with basically everything, so just... Right, so... Oh yeah, there's block chance here, but oh, because the person wants this. Are we attacking here? Okay, so I think when it's false, that's basically handled because block just checks every time. Um, I could say if it's a frame trap, but I don't want to hardcode that. That would be hard to hardcode as well. Because on ready, I would have to calculate, okay, what's our fastest attack? Okay, that'll be a to-do then. Where's my ready function? No match, okay. Underscore ready pass to-do add functionality to check fastest attack. Probably also to do add functionality to check for not just fastest attack, but attack with special properties like armor. And what frames as well. Okay. So I want this CPU to work regardless of what the attack is, what properties it has, and that it's smart enough to understand and use those properties depending on the knowledge or a CPU level, I guess. Input reading. You can just tune the values for like the difficulty, especially if it has like consistent block chance, 100% chance. That's, if it's not attacking, which is the main concern, which I think in the SpaceX CPU. Start attack. Yeah, so this is basically the only check in the process function. What is in the physics process? It doesn't. I don't know if it matters yet. End state is where states change, so I already checked. Never mind. Yeah. Turns. Okay, if it's your turn, attack, check the distance. Whose turn is it? Check whose turn. And what to do. If it's yours. If you have advantage, let's see, what types of advantage are there? There's hittable advantage, there's non-hittable advantage. So right now the fastest attack I believe is 5 frames. I have to individually 2D attack, 5 frames. Yeah, 5 frames, okay. CPU. That makes me question, is there an easy way to, stop? Is there a way to display in attacks properties like when the first active frame is in the editor without the ability to be edited? Okay. Okay. What would be good info like this for the CPU boss, but stored? I need to build the check system first, actually, no, if I wanted to do that. Go back to the, yeah, yeah, calculate frame data or something like that. Yeah, that later. Yeah. Also, calculating this is really nice for things, but I don't know. For the CPU, I'm not sure what to do with my advantage, so I'm not sure what to do about when it is the CPU turn and how to code it as of now, mainly because I don't think my frame data is set yet. Assume I have frame data. Oh yeah, if I actually just track the number itself, which I do, kind of, I can use that. No, 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 no. Okay, there's a lot of states. Let's focus on, let's pick a state. Let's pick a state. That's the first thing. Let's pick a state to work on first. What do I want to pick? Um, is the block state done though? I feel like it is. As long as that. Okay, no, it's fine. Okay. I think it's fine though, right? Because if stunned and just set blocking to true, roll the correct block type chance. Yep. Block logic seems fine, and I believe since it updates every frame, it should be fine. Since it checks every frame, it should be fine. unless it is not unset when attacking. Hmm. Wait, what? No, it should only block when not attacking. Just want to make sure that it's... Okay. I like it equal for frame traps. That way. Okay, so then what state makes the most sense to put on first? Also for attacks, I have set the boss to have the ornamentals of the anti-air, of up button and left button from the agent, excluding the overhead attack. I believe that's what that was, but I'm not, but I don't have here. Yeah. Uh, yeah, entity base 1 to attack has a eraser AI. Hmm. That func is either renamed or gone. I don't remember. Oh. Actually, I don't have any like walking behavior. I don't have any approach behavior yet. So what should I do about that? So let's work on that first. Okay, what do I need to do for the approach behavior? Almost like a Twitch chat or a YouTube chat. So approach behavior would probably. That's if that matters. I think it's just something for later. Approach for behavior. So if the state is far or close, do I give this boss a projectile? 1 second. 1 second. Does he get a projectile? That would be a far state. So let's work on mid state, because this is like either you approach or back off. You know what? Shift at export var. Not that. Spot. Enum? Names zoner. Alright, bridge. Based on range, should stop at close range, just not reduce too far, should approach while blocking or attacking. Should not approach while blocking or attacking. Solar approach. If it's doing either of those, yeah. Makes sense. Delta action. Yeah, I need to put more values though. It should have a preferred spacing. That is setting dependent. But I need a lot of settings. Also, I would like the following. Settings. Hawk. Back hawk. Run. Enum type for char archetype with zoner grappler and close and mid. Grappler slash close. Mid. And brush down. What other settings would be important for reference? I guess I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. No. I will likely not use case or but it may be usable for close. I'm adding too many settings. I'm adding too many settings. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Just block speeds. Never mind. Just pocket, run, and back. I should just walk on. Never mind, just do it. Walk speed can be the same back and forth, since they can just be spacing tolerance. That works a ton. Walk run speed. Also, tolerance makes sense. Tolerance, that means there's variability. Preferred spacing actually makes a lot of sense. That's probably the better option. Okay, spacing tolerance. What is the... Okay, using spacing tolerance. More discussion. But using spacing tolerance, how does it feel human for them to walk? What does it look like when I see like high level players? Okay. Um, High level gameplay of Street Fighter 6. Simply want to see what they look like. Okay. Skip the intros. Speed, maybe like as slow as possible. Yeah, right, now to start the match immediately. Yeah. Am I getting anything of it? That seemed like reasonable walking. Okay, let's slow this down as much as I possibly can. Just a quarter, really? Can I go frame by frame? Oh, please not. Okay, let's find the second they start walking. I'm looking at the Viper player. They move back from 158, move forwards, and that's half a second back, half a second forward. Okay. Uh, Share half second. And sure, half second as in 30 frames. Okay, you're doing too much for me. I just want, like, the variables. Okay, those have to be here, these have to be here, and these settings can turn into a resource afterwards. You just don't want to keep them. I want to keep them together so I can work with them for now, and then we'll turn everything into a resource later. Is crouching used yet? Yes. How and when? Oh yeah, primary hurt boxes. Okay, that's fair. Okay. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. AM stream. The first thing I need to do tomorrow, which I'll put a sticky note on, and now that I have an idea of what I want to do, which will probably help with the rest of the states, is approach logic. Okay. Approach behavior. Um, yes, so approach behavior. To do. Next stream. What? But you have it. Okay, you know what? I don't know for now. Okay. Bye bye for now. Tomorrow, approach logic. Clear goal.